The ESPN Daily. Good morning! In any other year, we would be honoring National Handshake Day. But in 2020, handshakes feel about as risky as drafting Antonio Brown in your 2019 Fantasy Football League. Yeah, if you don't know anything. All aboard the fist bump train. Here's your ESPN Daily. Listen up. Will there be college football in 2020? College football faces a unique set of challenges in planning its return. With hundreds of schools and thousands of players, no centralized bubble is possible, and there aren't even any centralized guidelines or decisions. At college programs throughout the country, schools are presenting players with waivers to sign indicating that they accept the risks of training and playing amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, the COVID-19 panic. Meanwhile, teams are seeing more and more positive tests for the coronavirus. On today's episode of the ESPN Daily Podcast, Spencer Hall explains the variety of approaches and impacts we are seeing and how players are finding their voices on the return to play, just as they have in recent weeks on other prevalent social issues. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, did you hear that the Hall of Fame game got canceled?
What?
Yeah. It's canceled.
No!
Yeah.
That was the Steelers and the Cowboys.
I know.
Why?
What do you think?
COVID?
Well, yeah.
Coronavirus?
Panic.
Beer bug?
Mm-hmm.
Chicken shits?
Why college sports can't return to business as usual. Although a debate over the future of college athletics might feel inconsequential in light of the coronavirus crisis and the growing movement for social justice, according to Senator Chris Murphy and Draymond Green, it's more like social injustice. According to Senator Chris Murphy and Draymond Green, it has never been more necessary. Both the panic and the fight for racial justice, or injustice, have served to highlight the fundamental inequities in college sports today. In an op-ed for ESPN, Murphy and Green provide their view on the importance of compensation for college athletes after the emergence of COVID-19. HBCUs emerging as serious contenders for top talent. Going to an HBCU wouldn't be too bad. Those were the words of high school basketball phenom Mikey Williams in a June 2nd tweet, just days after a weekend filled with protests and social unrest across the country. What is an HBCU?
Historical Black University.
Ah.
Because stuff and things.
Because they're going to be getting extra money.
Yeah, they'll get extra money, but also it'd be nice for them to start getting athletes back. But all the privilege and the legal fees and stuff that lets people who aren't qualified get into places they're not prepared for.
Mm-hmm.
That's been hurting historical black universities and colleges because all the big name schools that are not historically black universities and colleges
Mm-hmm.
have been stealing all their good players, like all their prospects, because they're not going to get the TV deal because they're a historical black college and they're not winning every single game, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So the big markets get all the big athletes. So if they get more incentive to keep good athletes at historical black colleges, maybe we get more people to go start going back to historical black colleges.
Why do they call them... Why do they have to use historical?
Because historically they were black colleges. And
But they're not, so they're not now?
Oh, no, they won't. I think they have to let you in if you're a white person now, but in all honesty, why would you want to be that person? Why would you want to be the one white kid in your class?
Well, because you should be able to feel safe and comfortable because people are people.
No, you wouldn't feel safe and comfortable. You would be ridiculed and treated like shit.
But that's not how it should be.
That's how it is. It's like
St.
The
Philip's.
one different person in the class.
St. Philip's is an historically black college.
Is it?
I went there for a short time.
Since when?
I didn't know that, but I learned it when I was there.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was part of the Alamo Community Colleges. Alamo Community
It
Colleges
is.
is not a historically black college.
I know, but St. Philip's was. Anyway.
Oh, so they just appropriating St. Philip's.
I guess so.
Racist.
Took them under their wing. Williams' statement about potentially playing for a historically black college, oh, it said it there, I could have just kept reading, or university, garners extensive social traction and national media attention. Since that tweet, Division I HBCUs have ramped up their recruiting efforts of 5-star and high major prospects in the next 2 recruiting classes. 5-star rising senior Trevor Keels landed 3 HBCU offers. 5-star rising junior Brandon Huntley Hatfield picked up at least 4 HBCU offers. Top-tier junior college prospect Elbert Ellis included North Carolina Central on his final list, and several other 5-star prospects have begun to include HBCUs among their scholarship offers. I think it would change the culture forever, Huntley Hatfield said. I think it would change the culture forever if I went to an historically black college. That's a little arrogant.
For real.
It would change the game of basketball altogether if if one of us chose a different pathway to make our dream come true and help our community. It just opens up a whole new bridge of opportunity. I feel like it would be a domino effect. Okay, good for y'all. Things to watch. That's true crime detective Jay Cutler to you. Okay. Finally, the unexpected... That's true crime detective Jay Cutler to you.
Nice.
Finally,
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me read it.
Tell me.
Finally, the unexpected 2020 plotline we deserve. Jay Cutler discovered Instagram stories. Okay. The former NFL quarterback and reality star took to the platform to share his hunt for a chicken serial killer.
Chicken serial killer.
Cutler explained that several of his chickens have turned up dead in recent days, and he is determined to find the person/animal/thing responsible. We've got a chicken serial killer on the loose, Cutler said. We've lost quite a few.
Bet money it's a fox.
Tonight we're going to set up a trail camera to see if it's a coyote, bobcat, or raccoon. It could be anything. I'm not sure.
What if it is a coon? Will he be able to arrest the coon?
But enough is enough. These ladies are a little edgy right now. The chickens, I'm guessing, are the ladies.
Yeah.
We've got to figure things out. There is one other possibility. It could be an inside job. Remember earlier this week when I lauded retirement Eli Manning? This is the end of the quote. The quote's over. Remember earlier this week when I lauded retirement Eli Manning? Well, retirement Jay Cutler is tops. You best believe I'll be checking back for updates. Not all heroes wear capes. Overheard. Oh, it's a Bubba Wallace quote. Oh, it's this Bubba Wallace quote. This should not detract from the show of unity we had on Monday and the progress we've made as a sport to be a more welcoming environment for all. Bubba Wallace in a statement after the FBI's findings that he was not the victim of a hate crime, which the ESPN Daily is finally addressing. They didn't say a word about it yesterday after including it as one of their top stories the day before. A more welcoming environment for all. Unless you like the Confederate flag, because then you're not welcome. And I knew it was going to be like this. As when in my video after the FBI's findings, I knew somebody was going to be like, yes, but it's still important that we be having these conversations. It doesn't matter because we've done something good here today. Ugh. Living lies. So much lie. Remember when? On this date in 2009, Steph Curry was drafted by the Golden State Warriors. Curry, fresh off a huge 2008 NCAA tournament with Davidson, believed he was headed to the Big Apple to play for the Knicks. I wanted to go to New York and I wanted to go to New York and thought I was going to New York, Curry said on Showtime's All the Smoke podcast. At the draft in the green room, I was like, oh, get to the 8th spot and New York can get me. And then I got the call from former Warriors GM Larry Riley, like, we're going to pick you in the 7th spot. 3 championship rings, 2 MVP trophies, and 5 consecutive trips to the NBA Finals later, I would say things have turned out all right for Chef Curry in the Bay. Until next time, remember, while we're on the subject of Steph Curry, it feels like as good a time as any to recall when, in a strange turn of events, I interviewed the aforementioned Splash Bro for 11 minutes on Periscope Live at the 2016 ESPYs. I don't remember much of what I said, but I do know I attempted a joke about Curry peaking when he was name-dropped in a Drake song. I peaked when he gave me a courtesy laugh. This has been your ESPN Daily for June 25th, 2020. Okie dokie. That's all for today. Thank you, ESPN, and goodbye.